Let's go.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Top four, Applechips, Roomdo. Let's head down to the action. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Top four, Applechips, Roomdo, Applechips from Team Invoke Lethal, number one on the leaderboard. I mean, come on. If you've been watching any T&E the last 6 months, you know that little number one is next to Applechips' name. No surprise there. Pretty much every time Applechips is not ranked number one, I'm pretty sure he goes back and gets number one like a week or two later. It's like he can't sit and not have the number one next to his name.
It's like, what part of Applechips number one do you not understand?
All right, Roomdo keeping a nice hand. You like one drops, Oni Ronin, 2 copies of Snow Crust Yeti, Champion of Fury, and League Explorer. I don't know, man. Is Skycrag aggro back on the menu? This deck seems sweet.
Hey, Skycrag got a lot of good cards over the past God knows how long. No, it's no longer just this combination of Fire and Primal. It's the latest set with Amarok, with League Explorer in the expansion. With other tandem cards. Skycrag aggro is the real deal.
Yeah. I like the League Explorer, I think, has overimpressed me when I saw it. It seems like a fine card, but we've seen it put in work tonight. We saw it put in work on Friday. I think that card's pretty legit.
Yeah, you know, absolutely. Chips in early game and then late game, you empty your hand once and suddenly trigger this whole chain reaction. Like, wow,
Yeah,
card's
my
very
fear
good.
for this matchup, this one's going to be really interesting because Applechips has chump blockers, right? Applechips is going to be able to throw out chump blockers. It's not like Roomdo is going to try to disrupt the relic plan. It's really just going to be try to kill you. So Applechips can throw out chump blockers all day, and if Applechips lands one hit with the shrine, like the Applechips is going to gain 10 plus health. There's nothing Roomdo is going to be able to do about that. One thing that Skycrag aggro deck doesn't really do well is deal 10 extra damage, right? It can do a little bit of extra damage, but if
Yep.
Applechips ever hits with a shrine, like the game's over.
For sure. As an aggro deck, Shrine is your worst nightmare. If your opponent can both get a board and get a shrine going, pack it in.
Pitfall Trap going to be the play here for Applechips. Just going to pop some Aegis this time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Roomdo has a couple options. Can play 2 1-drops or can play a charge 2-drop. Going to play with that League Explorer. And I like this because it gets the depth charge, but it also, more importantly, triggers that tandem on the Amarok as well. I guess I would have
Of
done that
course.
anyway with the Snowcrest Yeti, but I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Carver, Coda. That's what Applechips' deck does. Shearing section, but that's not going to be one that's going to be able to cast, so you're out of
Yeah.
there.
Went for the Carver roll.
Yep, that's not going to do it. Unfortunately for Applechips, that Carver's done. Another Tota, though. Kind of all day blockers. That's the thing, is Applechips can just keep throwing units on.
Yep.
Champion of Fury, though, that's a good one.
The full assault. How much is being presented here? 12 damage? Yeah, it's not a joke.
Yeah, it's a lot harder. You can chump some of these units, but it's a lot harder to chump Champion of Fury, and even League Explorer 2 is kind of hard to chump because you don't really want to be chumping it and they keep getting depth charges either. So both of those units are kind of hard to chump. And then follow up with an Oni Ronin. Yeah, I mean Roomdo is zooming for sure. A
Yep.
space, the classic combo. They might not call it a
Mm-hmm.
combo deck, but the combo of those 2 keys on your keyboard works pretty well for this deck.
Yep. Especially against the more traditional combos in Eternal. It's like
They're gonna play out that Kato there and another pup. So Applechips has some chump blockers.
Definitely, yeah. Once this Toda engine starts getting online, you better have Overwhelmer flying, or you're just gonna get bogged down forever.
Now it's interesting. Roomdo does have Blazing Salvo and does have Champion of Fury. So there is reach plus those depth charges. So Roomdo has ways to push through damage. Gonna go and get a torrential downpour here. That's another way to push some damage through. Wipe the board. We
Oh,
are gonna get that shade back, but the attacks look a lot nicer this turn. So nice market
definitely.
grab by Roomdo. Seal is not what Applechips wanted to draw there. Gonna get an 8-8 out of it, but that 8-8 doesn't do anything here.
Nope.
The only thing it does is eat up some overwhelm damage from the champion, but Applechips is gonna need a lot more than that. Plus, you got the depth charges coming off. All Roomdo has to do is literally play out their hand and the game's over.
I
Like, I don't think Roomdo doesn't even have to attack, right? It's just play your cards and you just win because of those depth charges.
definitely.
Applechips digging. I don't even know. I guess trying to find a shrine and sack a unit and try to gain some health back, maybe. Well, there's a shrine, but it's too little, too late at this point. Roomdo is just going to play power, Houndmaster, and those depth charges are GG.
Yep.
That's it. All right, Roomdo is going to take game number 1 on an absolute tear tonight. I mean, credit where credit is due. Putting up results with this deck.
Yeah, don't knock it till you try it.
Auto Tread, Renadin Drone, Oni Patrol, Oni Ronin, Snowcrust Yeti. That is the one drops. You complained about one drops earlier in the night, Ilya. That is a one drop set right there.
Yep, that is a real aggro deck. Make sure to always have the one drops to play in turn one, because that money goes very far. You just sat back and thought, "Oh, hey, this little thing I didn't take care of. How much damage did it actually do? A deceptively large amount."
And then on the other side of things, or I'm sorry, on the two drops, you got Houndmaster, League Explorer, Champion of Fury, Prowling Amarok. Oh,
Yeah, those are fantastic tools. So
yeah.
we are back in game, and oh wow, opening hand rat cage for Applechips.
Opening hand Rat Cage and no one drop in the opening hand for Roomdo. So this one, Applechips has a shot here. Well, you didn't have to do that. I just said you didn't have a one drop.
Mm.
Roomdo going to show up the casters by top decking an Oni Ronin. Quick play here for Applechips. Rat Cage, Azurite Prixis, Kato, get some rats. It's about the quickest turn with a Shrine to Carve It in hand. That's one of the quickest ways Applechips has gotten up to their setup as I've ever seen.
Mm. Yeah, so hey, this on your own. While the only thing that can block him profitably is a killer uh
All right,
what was I saying?
Applechips attacking
Brain
here.
derailed. But yep, Applechips, starting the beats.
Starting those beats,
Yeah.
Arc of Soul, hit with a cultist because, Kato is a cultist, so don't forget that
Mm.
synergy. Still at 27 health, up to 4 power, Shrine to Carve It in hand. I like the start by Applechips.
Yeah, Applechips definitely, seems to be in the driver's seat here. Uh Rats, Shrine, cheering section.
Cheering
and
Kingler
even
sounds good.
the display for the one ofs in this deck. And yeah, do definitely not at a small enough capacity to send.
No, and Applechips still at 23, so we're gonna see that right
Yep.
here. You're gonna get the cheering section
Yeah,
down. Gonna start
to get
discarding
the
cards,
hound.
making Totas. Now, does Applechips have a way you can sack? Okay, so they do have the sack outlet in the cheering section. That's right.
Right.
So with Shrine, so Applechips next turn can play Shrine, sack Totas, and start going off.
Definitely.
Roomdo has lots of disruption though. So they have a 3/3 auto tread, courtesy of the Warcry on the Onin, and Blazing Salvo and Torch. So it'll be interesting to see if Roomdo wants to try to disrupt any units, but we talked about this before. Point and click removal is not effective against the Tota deck.
Oh no, because you're burning a card on things that either aren't a card or leave behind other cards for the same cost.
Like that removal right there, like almost netted Applechips units. Like that was almost better for Applechips.
Right. That's how these token unit spawning strategies go. You take take out the units, the relics are still there. Take out the relics, the board gets you.
More pups. The Totas are gathering, and the Shrine to carve it in hand for Applechips. I assume you just slam it, sack, and go, but
Yeah, very few things like an active shrine that just says we're done here.
even gonna play the courtier first to get that trigger. Draw a card. There we go. Sack a unit. Everything gets plus attack and lifesteal. +2 attack and lifesteal. And the new units that come out, the new Totas come out, also get those.
Mhm.
Not like it's just the units on board, it's all the units. So every new unit you make.
And yep, that is a lot of damage coming through. Even if Roomdo were to somehow survive, the shrine's still there. All the threats are still there.
Yeah, and now your opponent's at 41. So
Right.
Roomdo gonna grab that downpour. That's gonna take out all of Applechips' board. But the real problem is that Applechips has all their relic and 40 health.
Right.
Discard, 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 discard. And there's this nice ability that says when a player discards a card, they play a 0/1 Tota. So get one back there.
Definitely.
Exactly. Block again, discard again, get another Tota. It's basically like a free block. Pitfall Trap as well. That's going to deal the 1 damage. It's going to kill the Houndmaster. It's going to get a rat because it's a relic. It also allows you to loot every turn, and then Applechips has the ability when you discard, get another Tota. So that loot gets another Tota as well. Now you're going to sack those. That's going to trigger Trine, make you discard cards. So this is sort of the combo. Not a hard combo, not like a game-winning combo, but it's essentially a combo here.
Right. In the
Synergy,
sense that
heavy synergy / combo, whatever you want to call it.
yeah, and Applechips is just gonna hack it in for that uh first game in the match.
Yeah, Applechips gonna tie it up. So now we're going to game 3 because Roomdo took
Oh,
that quick
whoops.
one. Yeah, Roomdo took the quick one, right? So
Right.
right off the bat.
Derp.
So it's actually game 3 here. So Applechips needed that one.
Yep. Yep. Fatigue
Ash
kicking
Acer
in
and
a little bit.
Spifferific on the back tables are actually tied. They're also going into game 3. Ash Acer on Hurukira, Splifferific on Overloader combo. Both have one game apiece going into their final game. Winner of that one heads to the finals against the winner of this one. It's that simple.
Mm. Yeah, once again, a reminder, nth time, the road to worlds goes through T&E.
All right, players are ready. Game 3. Let's do it. Another sweet opening hand for Roomdo. Oni Ronin, Oni Patrol, Grenadin Drone, Prowling Amarok. The only disadvantage for Roomdo here is that they were on the draw. Although Applechips' hand isn't the fastest. That Pitfall Trap will help pick off one of the units, but doesn't have a Primal. Look at that. Applechips does not have Primal.
Whoa.
Get...
Yeah, you play a 4-faction deck, eventually that influence is going to catch up to you.
And going to the market to get a Jotun Hurler, but still doesn't have a Primal. You have to block this if you're Roomdo.
Does not.
Roomdo obviously doesn't know about the lack of primal influence on Applechips' side. But here comes that Arc of Soul. That's gonna it's actually huge for Applechips. That's gonna get the primal sigil. I mean, if you're Roomdo's seed, I understand not doing that, but I don't know. You don't have the hand. You don't know that Applechips is missing an influence.
Sure, but you don't want them to get the ramp either, and all it cost was half a 1-drop.
Yeah, that's true. The downside wasn't that much. That's fair. The double onslaught's pretty nice for Roomdo, but Applechips is also going to be able to get a Pitfall Trap here and maybe a Calibrate if they want, or Snowball, take care of one of those onslaughts. Yeah. They're going to pair it up with a Snowball, take care of one of the 3/2s.
Mm-hmm. Nevertheless, the rats can't block.
Can't block, so that's true.
Out comes the Amarok, and time to start charging it up.
You like that Aegis there? I feel like that's a quick draw. But
I do not. I am not sure what that Aegis is supposed to defend against.
Alright, following up with an Oni Ronin as well, and Roomdo also has another Oni Ronin and a Grenadin Drone in hand, so going wide. Applechips still missing fire, though, so interesting on this keep. It was 4-faction. Applechips was missing both Primal and fire, but look at this. Calibrating to find a Praxis Vow. And there's all 4 factions. Now the hand is open for Applechips. Carver sack, and now Applechips is on a plan. Let's dig to find a shrine. Let's get our relic set up. It's got to happen in a hurry because Roomdo is about to do a bunch of damage.
Absolutely. When you register an aggro deck, you're here to kill people. Start killing people.
No blocks because those dirty rats can't block. So that's going to put Applechips down to 8. You got Drone, Ronin, and Blazing Salvo in hand. I wonder if you Blazing Salvo this Carver. I kind of feel like you do. Get this Carver out of there, yeah.
You can't let a Carver live because suddenly there's a top deck shrine and then God knows what else.
Gonna get Slag here, which is kill an enemy relic or an enemy sentinel. It is a fast spell, so that can kill the shrine to carve it or a cheering section if needed. But those dirty rats can't block, and there's lethal coming through on Roomdo's side.
Yep.
Discard, that'll get you 1 Tota, but 1 Tota is not going to stay alive. Roomdo already had... Oh, Roomdo has 7, actually. Did Applechips find a way to actually stay alive one more turn? I think he did. I think that's right to go for that slag, but it's interesting looking at the board that Char would have or Seer would have won the game.
Yeah, quite possibly, but I suppose that's only if you don't if you yeah, like if you don't want to play to the out of shrine.
Yeah, but I don't love. I guess it might not matter. I don't love if you're gonna do that. Then I feel like you need to keep slag up for shrine. Maybe killing the cheering section's good enough because Applechips can't really assemble a lot, even if he did have shrine.
Right.
But I almost feel like if you're gonna just go for slag, then just hold it up the rest of the game. But it's not gonna matter. I don't think Applechips has enough to do here. Literally can't take a hit, needs 7 chump blockers, and has one.
Yeah, this time the aggro deck really got to do, whatever it wanted and not too much disruption. And yep,
Yep.
there's just a torch for good measure.
Torch for good measure. Well, Roomdo, congratulations. Taking Skycrag aggro, classic Skycrag aggro, all the way to the finals tonight.